What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So for this trailer review reaction, we are taking a look at this headline here. Check into Shudder's Hell Hotel from the creators of Slasher. And again, we have the trailer here. So some of you may have already seen this trailer. Haven't seen the trailer yet myself. Trailers have been piling up over the past week. I think I have probably a good 8 to 10 trailers to take a look at. But I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that we're getting so many horror, thriller, psychological, whatever subgenre you want to throw it into. I do think they all link back in one way, shape, or form to horror or mystery thriller type films. So we're going to be covering them all over the course of the next couple of days. So do plan on seeing a huge upload of trailer reactions again over the next probably 3 to 4 days. So we're kicking it off though with this one, Hell Hotel, which will be coming to Shudder. So like we always do, we're going to take a look at the article details, jump into the trailer, and then give our final thoughts on it. So let's get down into it here. Shudder is checking into Hell Hotel, a Canadian horror anthology series from slasher creators Aaron Martin and Ian Carpenter. The 8-episode limited series debuts with a 2-episode premiere on June 17th on Shudder and AMC Plus, with new episodes will follow weekly on Tuesdays. So that's pretty typical. We normally see, I know Amazon, and I say typical meaning Amazon, this is something they usually do. Netflix, not so much. We all know Netflix is the one that will drop an entire season on day one. Everyone binge watches it within the first 48 to 72 hours, and then everyone's just chomping at the bit, waiting for the next season or series to come out, which won't be for another year or two. At least with Amazon Prime, and as we see here what Shudder is going to be doing with this one, they'll drop, depending upon the length of the season, they'll drop 2-3 episodes that first week, and then it turns into a weekly episode, weekly upload. Now I know with Paramount, when Paramount Plus, when they did Dexter Original Sin, I think they only did 1 episode that first week, if I recall. I don't think they did a 2-episode drop that first week. They did do a weekly drop, except for midway through, they took a week off. So there was like a 2-week gap between episodes, and then they picked it back up and then finished out the season, which is now going to be a season. We're getting a season 2 for Dexter Original Sin. So not surprised to see this. And I do sometimes feel this is a better approach because you keep the fans coming back, and it doesn't feel like, maybe to me, it doesn't feel like, oh, I just watched everything in one day. Now it's another year or two before we see it. It does kind of draw it out just a little bit more. It gives you something to look forward to every week when you're into a series like this. So let's move on. A group of 10 true crime obsessives are invited to the opening weekend of the newly renovated Cold River Motel, the site of a 30-year-old unsolved satanic mass murder. History repeats itself when the guests get stranded and start getting knocked off one by one during a murder spree that grows exponentially more gruesome than the original with each kill. So you guys have heard me say this, especially when it comes like camping. I remember when I saw Wrong Turn, the original film, the first film that got, I don't even know why they've made, I think they've made what, 6 to 8, I can't remember the exact number. I know they've made a godly unnumbered sequels to Wrong Turn that were never necessary. But anyways, I remember seeing Wrong Turn in theaters when it first came out, and knew right then and there, never take a back road and never go camping. It's just not worth it. And something like this, if you know the hotel, I'm sure this hotel is going to be out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of nowhere. If you know something like this has happened, there's no, I don't care how obsessive you are, don't go stay there. Odds are it's not going to turn out well, and just stay home or go stay at the Ritz. At least there, you know, odds are you're going to survive the night. So the cast includes Eric McCormick as Hemingway, a chef with a wickedly sinister flair; Paula Brancato as Paige, a former Scream Queen actress looking to revive a career that has seemingly left her behind; Sean Benson as Crow, a new age medium with an apparent connection to the massacre's victims. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns out to be fake and he's just faking it, and everyone's going to rely on him to keep them safe, and he won't be able to. And Atticus Mitchell as Blake, a true crime writer and himself a survivor of a mass killing; And odds are they'll probably turn to him thinking, oh, you've survived this before. What do we do? And I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out to be fake as well. They're joined by Emmanuel Kanbago as Kawana, a talented artist with a dark focus on murder. Jim Watson as Andy, a bookish academic at the forefront of contemporary true crime studies. And Giovanni DeGravis as Adriana, a flight attendant with several notorious serial killer notches on her bedpost. Okay, so we keep going through all the various characters. Not going to keep reading. I think that's enough. When Ann Martin and Ian Carpenter reached out to tell me they had crafted another irredeemable a-hole for me, my response was, "Where do I sign?" said Eric McCormick, who delivered a memorable performance in Slasher Ripper. If you loved hating Basil Garvey, prepare to feel an instant disdain for Hemingway. With Hell Hotel, we take a good look in the mirror as both horror fans and horror creators delving into the allure of a genre of storytelling as old as drama itself, added Martin Carpenter. But as any horror fan who's ever uttered Bloody Mary 3 times into a mirror knows, you've got to be careful what you wish for. Okay, we have the trailer here, which we're going to take a look at here right now, and then we have the poster here, which definitely gives you that motel vibe. You got the front desk, got the bell, the old school background with the keys for each room. Obviously nowadays, many hotels, motels, unless they're these very old school in small town suburbia, aren't using keys. They're using like a key card that you scan or insert into a reader. But obviously this one, they're going that very much old school locking key. Obviously have the masked villain, whoever that turns out to be, along with an axe. And it looks like there's also some blood on the counter here underneath the bell as well. And as we already know, it's a Shudder original series. So let's get back to the top of this article, and then let's go into the trailer and see what they are going to give us.
We'd like a room for the night. A honeymoon suite?
You know that I've been traveling through the night. And baby, I can't.
Welcome, everyone. Each one of you is a VIP of the true crime scene.
Please strap in.
We deliver total access to the most famous murder site in history.
The Cold River Slaughter. And you give us the right to use whatever comes up for promotional purposes.
Typical influencer engagement contract.
Hello, selfies.
All the best horror takes place in isolation. Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods,
The Shining. Do you think the original murderer has come back?
Maybe we have a copycat.
Thank you so much for the invite, but I want to check out.
Crazy murders like these, they never stop at just one.
He or she will strike again. Who do you think it's gonna be?
The bigger question is why?
Oh, I have a better question. Who do you want it to be?
We all have a killer hiding within us.
So I will say I do like the music that they use. I do like how they cut the trailer, how the intensity picked up. It was very apparent they're going with the black comedy aspect to this. They're going to be inserting comedy into this. From what I could tell, and I can go back and look at the article, I don't think in the article it mentioned whether or not this hotel is open. Based on how it looks like the hotel is not open. It looks like it's something where the hotel has probably been shut down since the original murders, and now they're coming there for whatever reason. And again, the article didn't state exactly why they were going there, like what was the purpose they were bringing all 10 of these individuals together. But again, we can see that the hotel looks like it is still shut down. I did like the fact that, at least for the trailer, which I do hope the series starts off this way as well, that we're starting off with that original case, the original murder. We're seeing the couple show up. We're seeing what transpired. But it also appeared as the trailer moved on, there could be some points where we do some flashbacks, maybe. I do like that aspect where they're not just telling, hey, this happened here without really showing. It looks like they're going to be showing us how that transpired. Also, they even in the trailer, they were questioning him if this has been 30 years since the original killing. Is this the original killer or is this a copycat? So that was one thing they pointed out in the trailer. It does look like they're very much going to be centralized within the hotel. We saw an RV on fire. We saw them trying to escape throughout the woods, and obviously they were being caught and killed. It does look like it's going to rely heavily on jump scare, which I would expect. You're in a hotel, an old hotel, motel actually I should say. Some of these dark corners, the lights, things of that nature. We saw a few scenes in the kitchen, and one I think in the dining room when they were all together. I think then questioning, they wanted to leave, which could have already transpired when one person might have already gone missing. As you all know, when it comes to comedy and horror, I'm not a big fan of it. This one seems like it's going to be presenting itself as such, as a black comedy horror series. And if that's the route they're going, that's fine, but lean into it and go that route. Don't just insert comedy to insert comedy. Otherwise, I don't feel like it really has a place here. Give me a straight up horror film, motel slasher film. That's what I want to see. For Shudder, it doesn't look like they're going to be holding back on potentially any of the blood or the gore, which I think is good as well. So I am excited to see this film. I think it said starts on, if I can go back and check, it starts June 17th. Again, that's when we get the first 2 episodes. Then we get the weekly episodes up to 8 episodes. Let me double check. So yeah, 8 episode limited series, 2 episodes premiere on June 17th. So we are about a month away, a little over a month away before we get those first 2 episodes, and we will be doing a episode recap on this one every week. So it comes out on June 17th, which I think, let's just double check the date for that, is a Tuesday. So probably what I will do is, if these do drop every Tuesday, I will wait towards the end of the week, probably on Friday or Saturday, to upload a spoiler review. That way it gives everyone enough time to watch it if they are interested in watching the series, and then jump on to see my spoiler review, and we'll rate each episode and then the overall series as it moves, and then the final rating for the overall series as a whole. So anyways, that's going to do it for this trailer review reaction for Hell Motel, coming to Shudder on June 17th. 8 episode limited series run. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you thought about the trailer. If you feel that, I also am interested to know if others feel the same way about comedy and horror. Do you feel it really has a place if it's not coming, if the film or series is not representing itself as a black comedy horror, film or series? Or does it not really bother you? You feel that, hey, as long as it's done, not nicely or appropriately, but as long as it's done, cleanly and it makes sense, then you don't really care. So anyways, drop a comment in the comment section. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we will see you at the next one. Later.